There we go. Good evening, everybody. Brian Rieger here with the We Believe team on this fine Thursday. Wow, May 29th, 2014. Almost the end of May already. Wow. Can't, we're getting in the dog days of summer, thank God. Weather's warming up and beautiful, beautiful thing. So Debbie and Scott are freshly back from our New Orleans event, and they're going to be sharing some knowledge with you tonight about.
Good evening, everybody. Brian Rieger here with the We Believe team on this fine Thursday.
What I did, Scott? See that? Was that me or you?
That was me. I did it. I muted out.
See, I thought it was me. You know, we talked about muting themselves out, and I thought I had neglected to do it. But anyhow, they're gonna talk a little bit tonight about some of the things they learned, and you know what we can share, where the company is going, and where we're all moving forward, and how we're going to be able to do this together as a team. So, Scott, why don't we start with you? You know, what was your biggest takeaway for last weekend in New Orleans?
Well, you know what, Brian? I don't know that I can actually come up with one takeaway other than, well, first off, I'm really excited about what I saw because, you know, I felt that there's a whole new energy here to what we're doing. And what I would say is, if I was going to take one thing away, it's that there's a lot of focus. There's a lot of really, you know, going back to seeing, you know, how we can all succeed together. And, you know, that really started with Dave Wood because, you know, he came out and he was very clear, he was very focused, he was very confident in his vision, and he was able to share that with us. So, you know, if I would say that there was one thing that I took away, it's that we're with the right people. We're with, you know, the right leadership. We've got, you know, people that really have our backs and are here to help us to get the best results that we possibly can, and he believes in us, he believes in what he's doing, and really he's going to do whatever it takes to get us to, you know, have the results that we deserve here. So I would say that that was my big takeaway for the weekend.
Sweet, sweet. And you know, that new video that he came out with, he really kind of shows that to everybody about, you know, the direction he's taking this and about how it's so important to him that we all have success. So let's throw, Debbie, let's throw you the same question. What was your biggest takeaway from this weekend? You're muted, Deb.
Yeah, hold on. Am I unmuted now? Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you. You're good.
Can you hear me now? Okay, there you go. I'm like Scott. There was so many big takeaways, but when you said what's the biggest one, is what I really heard was it's possible. It's possible to really be able to live your dreams. And, you know, I met so many new people at this event, and, you know, including people on stage. It was because it was a smaller event, and, you know, people at the event. And literally, what's probably the most impressive is when they have the commission countdown. And the number of people that go up on stage that have made money with this organization is phenomenal. I mean, this was literally a small event, probably a couple hundred people or maybe 1,000, I don't know what it was. And there was probably 10% on the stage, or there was quite a few. And that just doesn't happen. And it's not just all about the money. It means that it's possible, it's doable, that, you know, every time people make money with Empower Network, it means the lives are changed, and, you know, people are able to travel or stay at home and not have to go to a job, or, you know, provide stuff for their kids. And so people are really doing it. And then there was another part of this too, is that what I came away from there too was, as far as it being possible, was like completely stretched. There was a guy who made, I think it was like $93,000, and, you know, income disclaimer, EmpowerNetwork.com, whatever that is, income PHP, whatever it is. And so,
EmpowerNetwork.com/income.php.
Or see the link at the bottom of the page.
Oh, that's easier. Okay. So results are not typical. And so this guy just came out, you know, he was a waiter in December. He's from another country, and he just decided to do it. And, you know, that to me was like the 4-minute mile, when Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. You know, and before that, people thought it was impossible. Now this guy, and he's probably 21, 22 years old, just came out and just did it. And so it just really raised my level of what's possible. and just seeing the success of people and the camaraderie. So that's probably my biggest takeaway.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Debbie. You know, folks, and that's what it really comes down to is, you know, there's something to be said about just having the belief that you can do this. Trust me, if I can do this, anybody can do this. If Scott can do this or Debbie can do this, everybody can do this. None of us are, you know, magic wizards. None of us are, you know, technological geniuses, and we know all this PHP and HTML and you know, all this other scripting and all that other nonsense. I mean, you know, can we open up an email? Sure. Can we, you know, write an email, or can we, you know, shoot a quick video? Absolutely. You know, but at the end of the day, you don't need to be a technological genius here to be successful. You just need to start by taking steps to move yourself forward and take the action necessary to go out and create the lifestyle and the life that you want. I mean, it's just really that simple. It's just make a commitment and say, hey, I can do this. You know, anybody can do this, and, you know, let's just lock arms and go make it happen. You know, Debbie was talking about AK, 22-year-old kid out of, I believe it's Austria, joined Empower Network, made $90,000+ in 90 days, you know, had no list, had no prior experience, had no prior knowledge, came in, put himself into the training, did what he was taught, went out, executed it, and, I mean, now he, you know, he didn't do any paid traffic either. He just went out and did what he was taught and created that kind of result and that fast. So, you know, it just goes to show it is possible if you believe it. So, Scott, so I'm sure as you're aware, Dave Wood made a pretty big announcement yesterday. Why don't you go ahead and kind of fill people in on that, and you know, let them know, you know, what's coming, and you know what, I know you're super excited about it. So, you know, what's got you excited about that?
Well, first off, what Dave Wood really recognized is that, you know, it was time to do something to really take us to the next level, do things that were going to help stack the deck in our favor and give us the ability to get the results more quickly. Because actually, and one of the things that started this whole process was the fact that he was watching what AK Jr. was doing, and he just really said that, you know, this is something that we can apply to the entire company. Like Debbie said, it's the 4-minute mile. Well, you know, he's figured out how to do that 4-minute mile. But, you know, not only that, he's really set the bar and given us a standard and a way to really do the business. So what they came up with and what they announced this weekend is that they're going to make it so that when you first get signed up, you're going to have the opportunity to get all the products at a discount. And by all the products, what I want to talk about is really the core products, and that's, you know, our basic core products before they came out with any other supplemental products, and that would be your basic viral blogging system, your Inner Circle, your Costa Rica, your 15K, and your Master, and those are, you know, what are considered to be all in. And what they're going to do is, for everybody that signs up, you have a 72-hour window to make a decision to buy those products. And they're going to discount them down from $51.25 down to $29.97. So what that's going to do is give people a big incentive to take action quickly, and it's really going to show us who's serious, who's really here to make it happen, who's really in this business to get the changes that they, you know, tell you that they want. And, you know, by doing that, you'll know the people that are going to, you know, be in the business and really take it seriously. And if you don't get that product in the first 72 hours, the first 3 days, you'll have another 4 days to get the product at $39.97. Now, a little bit of a gray area here. I'm not exactly sure. You know, there was something talked about a 10-day window, but from what I understand, the Leadership Council, Dave Wood, all got together and they decided that, you know, by doing this within a week, you're really, you know, putting people in a position to make a commitment. So, you know, either way, there's a deep discount on that. And, you know, what they really project this to do is to make your lifetime customer value really increase drastically. You know, what will happen is, unfortunately, you know, some of the people that get in for $25 that are, you know, scraping together and, you know, really struggling, and I'm not saying that, you know, they don't deserve to have the opportunity, but, you know, what it's going to do is really give us the ability to focus on the people that are serious, not to say that you won't be able to help or train and work with the people that are, you know, in at the more basic levels, but you'll really use the products to train everyone, and that's another thing that they are really focusing on. So it's big changes, and then the other change, and these are kind of like a 1-2 punch, is they're going to change the order of the compensation plan. So as it was before, what would happen is when you would get started, you would pass up your number 2, your number 4, your number 6, and every 5 after that. So 11, 16, 21, 26, and on and on. Well, what they realized is that, with some people, it's not with what we're doing here, but with some people, they just weren't finding that they were getting the support from the leaders, because it was like they would sign them up and pretty much people would be on their own. And, once again, that's not what we do. We believe in doing this as a team, and we want to, really all have success together. But they felt and they found that by changing the compensation plan to having now your very first sale, your third, and your fifth, and then every 5 after that, so it would be 10, 15, 20, 25, and on, that's going to, create a change in the compensation plan. And really looking at it, when I first heard it, it was, I'm one of these analytical people. It took me a little bit of time to get my head around it. But I can see now it's really going to impact in a positive way what's going on in the business. You'll have more depth in your organization. You'll have the ability to work with more people. And, as people are getting started, you'll be able to, really leverage the whole compensation plan to get better results for you. So this will really make a nice difference for everyone here that's taking action. And that's really the key is, the way to get a result here is, as Brian said, make the decision, do what you have to do to make it happen, and take action. So, with that combination of the change in the compensation plan, they're going to give us, real incentive for people to step up. And that's going to be something that I really think we're going to have a huge end of 2014. And it's, really a good time here. We're kind of at the halfway point in the year, and I think we're going to really see some tremendous changes, in the results with people that are in this business. Things are going back to basics. They're going back to being simpler. They're going back to really giving us the tools and the resources to get the results. So as you can tell, I'm pretty excited about this. I think it's going to be a real positive for everyone in the company, everyone in our team, and we're going to really find the ways to make this work for everyone. So the other thing I forgot to mention, one other piece of this is anybody that's already all in, they're not forgetting about you. They're going to form what's called the Founders Club. And by being a member of the Founders Club, that's going to be an exclusive club, because as of next week, whenever they do this launch, they won't be having any more all-ins, that will be qualified for the Founders Club. So that's going to be a finite group of people. And what that's going to do is that's going to be a special mastermind. There's going to be monthly calls, I understand, with Dave Wood. It's going to be a much smaller group. It's going to be interactive. They're going to be there to, share tips and tricks and support and, solve problems and do things to help support us. There's going to be, if you go to an event, there's going to be a special designation. There's probably going to be some kind of a small group where people get together, and it'll be like some kind of a meet and greet with Dave and Jonathan Kronstadt, and of course all the top leaders in the company. But it's going to be a small group. And then the other thing that they talked about in this founders group is that Dave Wood is going to bring people down, or invite people down to Costa Rica to spend time with him, shoot videos, get training, really connect with him. So, and it's only going to be people from the Founders Club. So there's two schools of thought here. By getting in before this whole launch, or this whole, I don't want to use the word launch, this change in the compensation plan, that will qualify you for the Founders Club. And the reality is that's a finite group. So there's going to be, only so many people that will qualify for that. So it's going to be a tremendous value that, really will, as time goes on, that group will shrink. I mean, it's just the nature of the business. And, you'll get more and more recognition, and there will be no more people added to the group. So that's what I hear at this point. As far as the 7 days versus the 10 days, what I'm going to say is that's what I've heard. I don't have it confirmed. I don't want to mislead anybody with any kind of misinformation, but there will be a webinar following this webinar that Dave Wood is going to be holding. And I'm sure that they're going to cover, a lot more of the fine details, and maybe even roll out the schedule of exactly when things are going to be coming together. So a lot of excitement coming out of New Orleans. And you know, what I will say, and I know I'm a little bit long-winded here, I would recommend that everybody get to Charlotte. You know, what we experienced, what Debbie and I experienced in New Orleans was, you know, just a fraction of what we expect to see in Charlotte. And, you know, they're talking about Charlotte being a miniature national convention because the next one isn't going to be until the fall. And, you know, what happened is, you know, when they started going through these changes and these trainings and things that they're going to be rolling out, you know, all of the leaders, myself included, got their tickets for Charlotte, even though I had just been to New Orleans. So, you know, I feel it's important, and if you're real serious about your business, you need to be at that event. It's going to really be a total change in your business and your results. And, you know, I can tell you, just having been at the event, I haven't done anything to my marketing. I've done nothing to change anything whatsoever, and I've been signing up like a person a day without spending anything extra, without doing anything different. And there's just something different, and I don't know, you know, how the universe works in its strange ways, but there's something about the energy, the belief, and everything else that I'm putting out there that people are signing up, and I'm not doing anything different other than having been at the event, been, you know, in that mastermind situation, and, you know, it really will have an impact, and it's having an impact on me, and it definitely will have an impact on you if you go. So that's what I got.
Thank you, Scott. And, you know, folks, you know, really buying the products isn't about, you know, earning money. It really isn't. It's about having the tools necessary to do the business. You know, if you're a mechanic and you don't own a screwdriver and a wrench and a socket set, how would you ever expect to be a mechanic? You know, if you're a baseball player and you don't own a glove, how would you ever expect to be able to go out there and play baseball? You know, this is a business, and you gotta have the tools necessary to go out there and be successful at it. You know, if Derek Jeter, if you throw him out a shortstop with no baseball glove, how good's he going to be? You know, he couldn't be a Gold Glove, that's for sure. You know, you got to have the tools necessary, and you know, I think a lot of the reason the company is doing this is to get people to be able to get to the tools quicker at a little bit of a lower price point, to make that decision, say, hey, I want to do this, I want to get the tools, I want to do what I need to do and do what's necessary to be successful at this. And, you know, I've been to, you know, pretty much every event since I joined, and I will be in Charlotte with Scott, and I'm not sure if Debbie's going to be there. I'm probably pretty sure she'll try to make it, but, you know, I'll be in Charlotte for this one, and I'll tell you, there's nothing better than being around, you know, hundreds or thousands of like-minded people and actually being able to share your vision with somebody that understands it. You know, we live in a skeptical world, and we all have friends or family members that are skeptical, saying, oh, my God, what are you doing? Get involved in one of those crazy things. You know, but there's something to be said to just get around the people that, A, are doing it, B, believe that you can do it, and C, are willing to help you and share your aspirations, dreams, and goals. You know, so you got to get to the event so you can experience that, and when you experience that, it'll take your business to a whole different level. I wasn't even in New Orleans, but just from what was being shared with me and having people there that was able to share stuff with me, even my business took off, you know, coming out of New Orleans, even though I wasn't even there, because I made it a point to be engaged and get the information so I could go out and share it with my list and share it with my team and share it with everybody and get myself excited for it, you know, knowing that Charlotte's coming in about 3.5 weeks. So, Debbie, you know, what do you think is going to be a big thing to help people grow in this new system?
Well, it doesn't matter if it's the new system or the old system. You know, really what it comes down to is belief. And we've been talking about events, and some of the things that I witnessed at the events, it was just incredible. There was a girl who had been in for a little while and not really engaged, and she came. And, you know, just because, and what people are teaching at the event are applying the products. And so we're seeing demonstrated, you know, what it is that we're selling. And so coming to events is seeing people that really didn't believe in themselves or this industry and this company, just really getting it and saying, you know I can do this. And there were people there that you know, maybe before were riding on somebody else's belief. And it really is a team that like it's a true community, and I've never really seen anything like this. And there's people there to help that are very willing to do that and just share, which was just absolutely incredible. And so, and I think that you can't get that kind of a feeling, that kind of conviction and belief, if you don't go to events. And you know, you're right, Brian, I am trying to get to Charlotte. I hadn't planned on it. I'm going to be in California, but I'm transferring my ticket. I'm just going step by step, and just, you know, things will work out. And so, so the events are a demonstration of the products and a demonstration of the people. And what's really interesting is to see that, and I'm going to use Justin Varengia as an example. When I first got in Empower, he was a leader, and and yet he's been able to transform, and you just see people transform that stick around, and they become better people, they become, you know, better in relationships, better business. And Dave Wood said that those that stick around with him, you know, it may take a year or two or three, and it, you know, it's really upon us, it's not because of what's there, are successful. And you know, one of the things that you see in this, you know, kind of in this industry or in this arena is that, you know, you hop from one to another. Okay, this isn't working, I'm going to try this. And believe me, I've tried my share of things. And if you'll just stay and learn what you need to learn, which is in the products, learn, teach, and do, it will happen. And so whether it's the old system or the new, and you know what too, is one of the reasons that I think they went to the new system is that Jonathan Cronstead came from some really high-quality organizations, and I know two of them, and they're all about direct response marketing. They, you know, and he's learned from some of the best of the best. And so when people are joining us in Empower, you know, they've made a little decision, they've made a step. And so they've committed themselves, and research proves that if you offer somebody at that point a way to upgrade, that about 30% of the people will upgrade. So if you're taking a look at your business, excuse me, and you know, let's just say you've made, I'm just going to round this out, $10,000. Well, think about it. If 30% more people upgrade and get all in because of these, you know, this urgency, this sense of urgency and this discount, imagine what that will do to all of our income. And so just even, and seeing Dave Wood, the founder, with this vision and this heart, and then having Jonathan Cronstead, which I've liked from day one, with this amazing background and, you know, network marketing, direct response, direct sales. I mean, he just has the perfect background and personality for this, and it just really works. And you know, we had to sign non-disclosures going into the event, so we can't necessarily share, you know, certain things from that, but I was just very, very impressed. And I've seen a lot of businesses, and you know, there's things that are ups and downs, and no business is perfect, and I know that firsthand. But I just really like the combination and where they're going, and it was just really obvious at the event.
Awesome. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing that with us. You know, folks, and that's really, you know, it's not rocket science. It really isn't. And, you know, everything that this company does, and, you know, bless their heart, is in the benefit of the reps. I mean, I've never seen a company that's like that. You know, especially, I came from a corporate background where, you know, everything was completely and 100% about company making money. That's all they cared about. You know, I was managing restaurants, and, you know, they'd come to us and say, hey, you got to cut payroll by 2%. And then you'd cut payroll by 2%, and a month later they'd be like, oh, well, we need to cut it another 3%. And then they would just start hammering down on your percentages to the point where you're just working yourself to death. And, you know, the company's making money hand over fist, but nobody's got a life. Nobody's got any, you know, you're so exhausted at the end of the day because they're expecting, you know, to do, you know, 2, 3, 4 different people's jobs at any given time. I mean, you know, I got friends that work still in the corporate in the world, and you know, they'll get rid of 3-4 people and expect one person to do the job of 3-4 people now. And you know, when it comes raise time, what do? Oh, sorry about your luck. You know, we'll go hire somebody else at half of what we're paying you to come in here and train to do your job. And you know, unfortunately, you know, that's the way the corporate world is. And to be with a company that really says, hey, what can we do for the field to make their lives better? You know, because the company could do a lot of stuff to you know, grab money from us and try to do this or try to do that, where they could line their pockets and, you know, at the expense of the reps. But I'll tell you, everything I've ever seen this company does is for our benefit. And, you know, so I'm a strong believer in that, you know, this is going to benefit us all. It really is. It makes it, you know, not that it was unreasonable before, but it makes it a little more reasonable. Like Scott was saying, it allows you to sit there and say, okay, well, if somebody joins and they get all in within them first 72 hours, that's somebody that's serious. They're serious. They're showing the commitment of, I believe in this enough where I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to go make this happen. You know, so, you know, it gives them the tools necessary to go out and produce. So now, you know, me as a leader can say, hey, look, you know, there's some great training in the 15K formula. You know, go watch this, you know, video 3 and 4, and go out and implement what they just taught you. Or, hey, you know, in the master's course, go watch this. Or, oh, well, you're having trouble selling? Hey, do me a favor, go watch video 2 in the Costa Rica. So it'll allow me to take people that have all the tools in their toolbox and help them better by being able to say, hey, you're having this problem? Cool, here's the specific video that will help you fix that. You know, hey, you're not having your team engaged? Great, go watch Tracy Walker's training in the 15K formula. So those are the little things that I think are going to help us all, that as people start to get all the products, that the training becomes a little easier because they have access to more. And then, of course, we know with the iPass 2 system, you know, being all in is going to be a big deal because you're going to be an iPass Black member. You'll have access to their coaches that will help train your new people. They're going to do a lot of the upselling for you. So it's really going to play in terrific with iPass 2 when they get that live over the next, hopefully, few weeks. So, you know, just keep yourself going forward. If you haven't joined us yet, then, you know, get back to whoever invited you to the Hangout tonight and thank them and get going with them, because I'm telling you, it'll be the best, you know, the best money you ever spent, if in my honest opinion. So, Scott, let's go ahead and bring you back out here. You know, what do you see for your business moving forward that you think that you're going to be able to, you know, really kind of help people, you know, somebody, let's say, brand new that's coming on? What would you say that's something that you could do to help, let's say, a new person that's here saying, okay, hey, I just got started 2 days ago, now what do I do?
Well, you know what, Brian, it's funny that you were talking about the content and the products being able to direct people to the answers, and that was, you know, if I was going to maybe give the quickest version of what Dave Wood trained us on Sunday, which is the new, you know what, I don't remember the name of what they're calling it, but it's going to be a new training series that they're going to put together and they're going to release in the fall. And, you know, once again, don't quote me on this, but I think it's going to be tied to the 15K formula. And, you know, what they're really doing is giving us the tools, because, you know, one thing Dave Wood got up and talked about, and this is an answer to your question, is he says, you know, here, I've got this team of 300,000 people, and everybody thinks that I'm, you know, doing all this work. And he says, and I got to be honest with you, nobody has my phone. Nobody, you know, I don't really get called, and I work 2 to 3 hours a day. Now, he may be working a little bit more now because he's really in production mode. And if by the way, you have not had a chance, you want to go back and watch the Fast Start training, because he redid those videos. They just released them a day or two ago. He had talked about them being released. And, you know, that's an entirely new series that he's put together to really, you know, put people in a place where they understand what the business is about, what's going on here, and, you know, how that can help them really get themselves started. So going back to the original point, what I see happening here is exactly what you said, Brian, is I'm going to leverage the products. I'm going to use them in a way where I can really help people get to the results and help them get to the answers and help them get to, you know, real nuts and bolts training that will help them get started. And don't think that they're stopping here, because there's talk of them taking and upgrading and updating all of the new products, or excuse me, the existing products. So this company is not by any means sitting back on its heels and just waiting for things to happen. They're out there really addressing problems, addressing issues, and really at the core of what they're doing is, what can we do to make more people more successful more quickly? And that was really what I see happening. I see myself being in a position where I can do more to help people, because when they've got the products, we can direct them to where the answers are, and that's really going to be something that we'll have on an ongoing basis. So Dave Wood spent an entire day. I had 27 pages of notes from the VIP training session, and the core message was, this is how you can grow this business and have a life, because you want to demonstrate that what you're doing is working, and that someone that comes into this business doesn't have to be at a place where they have to work 24 hours a day to make this work. They want to really have you have a life, have you have an ability to really grow a team. I mean, and he talked about, you want a system in place so that you can grow teams all over the world without really having to be the limiting factor in the growth of what you're doing. You want the system to do the work for you and to really leverage what the tools that they have. So, that's what I see. I see, me being better at this to the point where I can actually help more people get results more quickly.
Cool. Yeah, thank you, Scott, for sharing that. And we had a few questions in there, guys, about from John. What's the lower price point? It's going to be $29.97 to get you all the products. And this is for when it goes live. Anyone that's not all in yet will have the opportunity to get this. And then, but it's going to be for anybody that's new to the company. We'll have that 72-hour window to get all in at $29.97, and you will own the 5 core products, be eligible to earn commissions on all 5 core products, and the idea is to be able to get you the tools. And I think that if you own the products already, I think they said that they're going to prorate it. So like, let's say you did own the 15K already, I think they're going to prorate that $1,000 off of there, so it would only be $19.97. And then of course, if you own the Costa Rica and the 15K, then it'd be what, $14.97. Don't quote me on that. That's just what I've heard from some of the leaders. So if you just need the Masters, John, it should be the $14.90 or $14.97. We'll get you the Masters, but it has to be during that 72-hour window. It's Dave Wood is going to be doing the hangout tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm sure he will go through all of that with us tonight to give us the exact details. So it's going to be a real good thing to help you get people in, get them started quickly, and then get your new members all in. Pretty much, if you haven't seen the video Dave did from the event, basically what they're saying is, hey, you're going to do 4 things. You're going to get somebody in, you're going to get them all in, you're going to help them get somebody all in, and then you're going to get them to the event. And those are the 4 main things that you're going to really kind of need to be focusing on. Again, get them in, get them all in, help them get somebody all in, and then get them to the event. And if you can do those 4 things with the new pass-up systems being the 1s, the 3s, and the 5s instead of the 2, 4, 6s, that's going to help your income skyrocket. Because if I can help the new person get on board and have them get their first person signed up and get that person all in, that becomes a pass-up sale to me. Now I work with that new person and do the same thing, and then I work with their new person and do the same thing. And what I'm doing is I'm teaching them how to go out there and produce the sale, but I also have a monetary, for me it's financially, I get financially compensated by teaching them the proper strategies to go out there and get that first person and get that first person all in. Okay, so that's the true key of this. So what's going to happen is it's going to be like a downline exploder, where I've signed up over 100 and some odd people. Scott signed up over 100 and some odd people. But there's a lot of people in my organization, but there isn't a lot of depth. Because what happens is, by the time you start getting power line level 2, level 3s, you're not able to give the one-on-one training that you would for somebody that's direct to you. So what this is going to do is this is going to open up our downlines to make it where we can reach down deeper inside our organizations and inside our teams and be able to help somebody that's maybe 5 or 6 levels down that's just joined. So it's going to give us incentive to go out and really work harder with our downlines. I think here at the We Believe team, we do an amazing job already at helping everybody, you know, when somebody's first getting started, or whether they're in my organization, Scott's, Debbie's, or somebody else's organization. You know, we do, I think, a better job than most at getting people the tools and support necessary to be successful. But I think that this will just be another way to monetize that for the people that are actually going out there and making the business happen. So I just wanted to answer that quick question there. I'm definitely going to be in Charlotte, Scott. Matter of fact, my first granddaughter is going to be born, is actually due that Saturday or whatever during Charlotte. So, but I'm going to be there even if I got to drive home, see a baby born, and drive back. Fortunately, it's only about a 4-hour and 15-minute drive for me. So,
well, hopefully she'll be early for you, Brian. So
I'm hoping.
You can relax.
Was it you that was telling me Maureen at the corporate office had a 10-pound, 5-ounce baby?
10.5. Yeah, 10.5-pound baby, 10.5 ounce. Yeah, monster baby.
10-pound, 5 ounce. That's just ridiculous.
Yes.
I couldn't even imagine.
And by the way, they missed you, Brian. They you know, they said to make sure to say hi to you. And you know, that's the other good thing about this company is, you know, you've got people that really care. That, you know, it really is a big family, and so much of, you know, what's going on is really, you know, they want to really all do this together. And you know, Debbie and I spent you know, quite a bit of time with the group down there, and you know, it was really, you know, that networking and that connecting, and you know, what Brian touched on earlier really is true. It's what happens is when you put yourself in a group of people that are all believing the same thing, you know, really going in the same direction, it just creates, you know, so much more energy and so much more, you know, of a result from what it is that you're doing. And you know, there was nobody in the room that said, you know, this can't be done, or you know, what it is that you know, that you know, we're not going to, you know, there were no non-believers. Here's where I'm going with this. There were no non-believers in the room. Everybody there was, you know, in a place where they really, you know, saw the results. They met people that were getting results, and it really became real. I mean, some of the people that were in the group with us, some traveled from Australia, some traveled from, you know, Thailand. They were really from all over the place. And it was funny because there were sales that just popped, you know, during the time that we were there, just because people were there. I know one person had a master sale, I believe, while they were at the event.
While she was out partying.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about right there.
While she was out partying. And the other thing that I want to share with you is this event wasn't just, you know, a rah-rah session. I don't want you to think that. This was something even different than I had experienced before, because what they really did is there was some nuts and bolts training, you know, that really was, you know, people showing examples of emails that they had written, people showing, you know, different things and different strategies that they had used to create results. And you know, some of the big takeaways. Well, first off, you know, I've just got some quick notes here that I want to kind of go through with you. You know, one of the things that Dave Wood said, which really has, you know, been something that a lot of people struggle with, and that's just ask for the sale. You know, a lot of times, you know, what we're doing is we're just being so nice about this. We're not actually asking for the sale because, you know, we're afraid to lose the person or what have you. And a lot of times, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, when you've got the proper connection, it's just time to step up and, you know, call somebody out and say, listen, you know, let's get you started here. Let's really, you know, do, you know, what it takes to get you going. You know, one of his other, you know, I took some quick notes before the call. You know, one of the things, you know, that he said is, you know, he hears from people that this business is hard. And, you know, he really threw it back and said, you know, this is hard compared to what? Going to a job, you know, being away from your family, having somebody tell you what to do, you know, not having control over your future, not being able to, you know, really, you know, create results, you know, based on what you do, but, you know, really based on what they want to pay you. And, you know, when you really think about it, you know, this isn't hard. It's just really all about taking action, making a decision, and focusing on, you know, the things that are going to be money-making, income-producing activities. You know, one of the other trainings that I got from Landon Stewart, who's, what is he? I think he's 21 years old. He's made $105,000 in here. He, you know, kind of got frustrated, backed away from the business, and then just really came back and decided, all right, this is time. Let's get out there and make it happen. And one of the things that he shared with us, and one of the techniques that he uses, is tell stories, get people to like you, give value. You know, that's really important because, you know, what happens so many times is we're just out there selling, and we're not thinking about, you know, what the person on the other end is really receiving from us. So, you know, that's something that, you know, we really need to kind of focus on. Think about, you know, what it is that you're saying to the people that you're connecting with, and what it is that you can really do to help them. Because, you know, the bottom line here is that, you know, the people that are out there looking are looking for someone to trust. They're looking for someone to really connect with. And if you get the connection, then the sale will certainly come, and that's, you know, what can happen here. And, you know, the other thing that he put out there is, you know, make a very clear call to action. So if you're doing a video, you know, don't just say click the button below. You know, what you want to do is say click the button below, and you're going to hear from my partner and mentor, Dave Wood, and he's going to explain to you what I've found here that really has given me the ability to, you know, have the results and change my life and share this with other people. So, you know, click that button, and Dave is going to, you know, come on right after you click it, and he's going to really share with you, you know, what he's taught me. So by giving something, you know, a little more involved in a call to action, and maybe that was even a little longer than it needs to be, but, you know, let them know what to expect after they click that button. And I think that was, you know, a real good golden nugget that, you know, we can all use, because, you know, so often we're just, you know, thinking that you know, just get to the point of ending your video and saying click the button. But, you know, really let them know what to expect, and, you know, you want to put yourself in the loop. And I know we'll get into more training, and I'm, you know, just throwing out a few golden nuggets here. You know, another very important thing is have a bridge page. Have something that's going to put you in the loop of introducing you to the people that you're going to be showing the information to. So, you know, to go through the basic process, you're going to have them go to a landing page one way or another, whatever your landing page is. You want to put a bridge video in there, and, you know, Justin Varengia shared this with us, and he says when he put a bridge video in there, his income went through the roof, and it was because he put himself into the loop. So if you have a lead capture page, and it goes just directly to Dave Wood's presentation or the Prosperity Team presentation, and then all of a sudden they start getting emails from you, they don't know who you are. You want to put yourself in the loop. You want to introduce and hand off to the next person, you know, how that can be done. And we'll do a training on that, because I'm sure that, you know, a lot of you are going to ask, you know, how that's done. So, you know, we'll go through a training and maybe put those pieces together so it'll become clearer. You know, now going back to, you know, one other person that I want to share, and then I'll hand it back to Debbie, because I'm sure she's got stuff that she wanted to share as well. When they were interviewing AK Jr. from Austria, you know, here was a guy, actually he was in another business. His business went out of business, and he had no money. He needed a way to you know, get some results. And what he did is he set an intention of getting $100,000 in 90 days. And it was kind of funny. He was up on stage and he says, I got to 93,000 in 90 days, and I didn't quite make it. But, you know, what he really did is he talked about, you know, how he brought people in. First off, he didn't have this huge list, so don't think that he went out and got, you know, 10,000 leads. He really brought 38 people in 90 days, and he made $93,000 from that. And even then, if you think you've got troubles or challenges in this, they don't even accept credit cards in Europe where he lived, and he had to find a way. I think he was having people PayPal money to him, and then he was using you know, it was complicated. But he figured out a way, because it wasn't like just going to your computer, putting in a credit card, and processing the payment. He had challenges. But what he really was training on is to go out and get 5 no's per day. Have people turn you down and tell you no. And, you know, he also, you know, when he trains people, he tells them to go out and get 5 new Facebook friends every day. You know, you don't want to abuse what's happening on Facebook, but you can get 5 and you know, connect with them and have a conversation. He also is coaching people to shoot 3 videos a week. And, you know, in those videos, give value. You know, share some of the training. Share some of the things that we're learning here. You know, if you weren't on the training last night with Josh, there was a great training that the Prosperity Team put on, and he really, you know, laid out a great overview and funnel of, exactly how the business works and exactly how, he went out and signed up 290 some odd people, in his first 8 months. And then the other thing he suggests is doing proof videos and putting them on YouTube. So when you're getting your first results, you're generating your first leads, any kind of win, any kind of result that you have, go out and share that. Because, when you leverage those results, you start showing to people that what you're doing is working, you start showing to people what you're doing is real, and you start showing to people, that you actually are doing something. So, that's something that he set up, and then the other thing that he did is, having some type of an elite inner circle, which certainly we have here with our team. But certainly the people that are taking action are the ones that get the most attention and are getting the most support from us. So that's just some of the examples of the things that I learned over the weekend. So don't think that this was some big rah-rah thing. It was really all about giving us training. But it was really exciting to see people that were there that were getting results, that were taking the things that they had learned and applied, and really making it happen for them in their business. So that was just some of the overview of what I got.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. And I want to get Debbie back out here because we've been kind of hogging the mic. Bill asked for a traffic source. That works good. I'll just throw something out there for you, Bill, just to for all y'all actually, but here's a great thing you can do is just go to like Google and put in like work from home moms. Here, actually, let me just do a quick screen share, and then I'm gonna pass it to you, Debbie. We'll give you the last 10 minutes, just to give somebody some little value here tonight. Let's see. Let me get my screen share on there. Can you see it? Can y'all see my screen? Well, I'm just gonna assume you can. So for an example, you can just go to Google.
I can see it, but it's a delay, so they won't be able to say it.
Okay. Let's go to like work from home moms. Okay. And let's see what we got here. Work from home moms. So, okay, here's one. Work from home. Assuming that's workfromhomemoms.com. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see. Anytime that you can go to a site, all right, especially work from home sites, you know that this is going to get great traffic because it's #1 in Google for work at home moms. Usually at the bottom of a page, they'll have some sort of advertise with us kind of deal here. Let's see. Home and family. Okay, here you go. Marketing and advertising. So brand your business, marketing basics, online marketing. So here you go. So this is them inviting you to advertise with them. So you can go to almost any site. I don't care if it's CNN.com. You can go to, wherever you want to go and find where the traffic is going for the people you're looking for and advertise with that niche. One of the things I did want to throw out there for those of you on the call tonight, we are going to be having a June We Believe Team Co-op. If it's something that you're interested in, feel free to just message me on Facebook. That will be starting next Monday. I actually have a couple of traffic sources that I've been testing that work really, really good. LinkedIn is one of them. The LinkedIn is I can run some job posting ads with LinkedIn. They're a bit more expensive, which is why doing it at a co-op is going to get us a pretty significant price break. I'm actually going to get us down to about 50% of the normal cost. I've been working with one of the reps there, and that's going to be a big deal. And I also, our Indeed traffic, I figured out a way to rotate it. So we're going to be also running that with our co-op this month. So June should be a good month for our We Believe Team co-op. So if you're looking to get some traffic, feel free to message me on Facebook, or I'll put a note up on the Facebook group for anyone that wants information. So we got about 10 minutes here left, Debbie. So why don't you go ahead and take us home for the last 10 minutes. Sorry, we didn't mean to be filibustering you tonight. So why don't you throw some golden nuggets at us?
Okay. Well, I'm not sure it'll take 10 minutes, but I was going to look back at my notes because I know Pat asked what source AK used to bring in, $90-some thousand in less than 3 months, and disclosure link is below. One of the things that was interesting to me was that I spent a lot of time with people who use video marketing, and they use it in different ways. One of them is John Pemberthy, and he's probably 21 at this point, and he uses video marketing in a different way than, I saw it demonstrated in a couple different ways, but I really saw the power of video. And what John Pemberthy does is that he will make videos for keywords. And we don't really have time to go into how he does that. And, this is in the 15K. And it was like so simple, and yet, he applied it and it worked. And so just seeing the power of video that way. And there was other ways that people use video, and some of them that I met were doing a 90-day video challenge. And so they committed to do a video each and every day. And they got clearer on their message. People were following them. People were joining. And like Scott said, it wasn't so much selling. It was just that people wanted to be part of this. And what was interesting, too, is that I was with Nathan is another guy that he was brand new. He's a young guy. And he went to Miami, and they did kind of like he did a video about his experience there. And that just totally boosted his business. And it was kind of interesting. The last day, Scott and I went down to the Mississippi River, and we're shooting videos. And, it's kind of more like, we're talking, and then it's like selling, or, kind of click the link and, do this or that. And then later on, or maybe it was the next day, I went to Starbucks with Nathan, this guy who had used video to really, in a lifestyle, in an easygoing way. So I said, Nathan, let's just do a video. And so I asked him a question, and it was probably like, just tell me why you're here, or something like that. And he just kind of told this casual story, and it was just a really easygoing thing. And at the end, we didn't even really do a call to action, just, hey, you want to know more, or, want to find out other cool videos or something, just, click the link or whatnot. And it was just really low key. And he says, that will get you a lot more results than doing videos trying to sell. And I mean, he actually demonstrated that. And so I was with somebody from, another guy from Mexico came with us to Starbucks. So we go outside, and I just start asking him questions. And it's just really a back and forth. Why are you here? What's your background? Just, what did you get out of this event? And so we did that video, and Nathan was actually holding the camera, and he says, that's perfect. That's what people want to see, just real people. Because there's just so much on the internet, and people join people, and I think it was Justin Varengia said that they're not joining the business, they're not joining the products, they're joining you. And they want to see that it's real, obviously, but one of the funniest things and the best examples was the last day. There was like 20 of us that decided to go out on this Cajun boat ride to go see alligators. And so, we take this bus from, downtown New Orleans, and they said it was like 45 minutes away, but we had to go pick up people. So we were, and here there's 20 of us, so we kind of really dominated this bus, and so we're just having a good time and talking and chatting and whatnot. So we finally get out to the boat, and there were 3 girls that were on the bus ride out there. They were supposed to get on another boat. They asked to get on our boat. They're like, these people are just having too much fun. We want to go with them. And so as they're kind of, they've got alligators, and everybody's looking over the side, and, they're feeding them little marshmallows, and the alligators are jumping out of the water, and, everybody's just having a good time. And the girls are like, what do you do? And, we're kind of like, oh, we just do this internet thing, and, went on. And the girls are like, well, how do we get more information? And so everybody was just kind of casual about it. And, of course, they're younger girls, and they were around the younger guys. And but nobody was really saying that. And so finally one girl gets up, she goes, I don't know what y'all are doing, but I want to be part of it. And that just kind of really blew me away, is that, you know, you don't have to be selling, and that people are watching. Here this girl didn't have any idea. Nobody said Empower Network. Nobody said what we did. She just wanted to be part of that. And I heard other stories like that just from videos, from, you know, people joining. They say, you know, I've watched your videos. I want to be part of this. I don't know what it is, but I want to be part of it. And until a year ago, I never did videos, and I still don't feel entirely comfortable, but I did a ton of videos in New Orleans with all kinds of people, and getting, you know, that are who came for different reasons, getting different results, but were all transformed at this event. And so it's in the 15K about videos, and to just do it, even if you didn't grow up with technology, because it works. And so, and I'm committed to doing more videos. Matter of fact, I did one. I got home and I went down to the beach and shot a video. And so anyway, that's what I've got. That was one of like the biggest takeaways, was that just live, just do this business. People will see it. People are watching, and they will ask to join. And that's a whole lot nicer when, you know, and people don't like to be sold. I mean, it's different asking, but it's just really kind of amazing when people ask to join your business because they've been following you. So that's what I've got for this evening. And
you know what,
Scott, I'm muted.
Thank you for that, Debbie. And you know what, we'll go into a training on that, because, you know, really there's a whole technique to starting out with, you know, who it is that you're really focusing on in the first place. And, you know, when you really get clear on that, that's really the, you know, if you want to know where the results come from, it's, you know, really be focused on who it is that you're going to be addressing in the first place. And when you do that, it's almost like you're just talking to them. And when you could be in that place, that's where the results come from, because, you know, they feel you, you feel them. It's really something that, you know, will get the best of results. And, you know, a lot of what we do here is, you know, trying to be too salesy, and I can tell you I'm definitely guilty of that. You know, coming from the car background, I've had to learn to unsell a bit, but you know, I certainly can flip that switch real quickly anytime. And, you know, that's the thing that we need to focus on. So, you know, we'll get into that, but, you know, the things, let's you know, really be serious about figuring out the strategy for how you're going to benefit from what this new program is, with the, you know, the discounts that they're going to be putting to us. And think about, you know, who it is that you could share this with, and who you've got that you've, you know, maybe talked to that, you know, one way or another just didn't get to the products because, you know, they held themselves back. So, you know, I don't want to run over on this because they've got the other webinar, but, you know, I want to thank you all for being here. And I want to let you know that, you know, we're doing this together, and we're really in a place where there's a lot of exciting things going on. And this is the time to, you know, maybe there's been some struggles in the past, and maybe, you know, you've had your belief really, you know, knocked down a couple pegs. But I'm going to tell you that, you know, what Debbie and I saw this weekend, and what I'm going to see in Charlotte is it's kind of like a rebirth of a rejuvenating of the entire company, and that's really what I came away with. Is, you know, exciting things are happening. Just hang on for the ride, because, you know, it's going to be good for all of us.
Awesome, awesome. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Debbie, for sharing, you know, the excitement from this weekend. And, you know, everybody, if you have not got your tickets to Charlotte, start making your plans now. I mean, it's you got another 3 weeks or so, or 3.5 weeks to get there. You can make it happen. You just got to commit to it and say, hey, you're going to make it happen no matter what. So I put the, in the chat roll, I put the link for tonight's hangout. Make sure that you are logged into your Empower Network back office, because it is affiliates only. If you are not yet part of our team, feel free to get back with the person that invited you and join, and so we can all work together and make it happen. So with that being said, hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thank you for spending some time with us. Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Brian. And thank you, everyone.